Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Garrett Dudlar. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing, Casey?
Doing good. I might just start with this. Where would if where would people what? So kind of just for people that may not know who you are, just kind of introduce yourself a little bit.
My name's Garrett Dudlar. Like Casey said, I last year I was able to play with Cranbrook throughout the 2024 season and was part of their state championship team. I I came from AAA. I joined about at the end of December, first week in January. Kind of right over Christmas break. I had we had a situation going on with my team. I didn't really like where my spot was headed, so decided to, make the jump and join Cranbrook, and it was I had a blast. It was a great time. It was a lot of fun. We had a very successful season, and towards the end of the year, my hip started to hurt a lot, and I ended up needing surgery. So in June, I got my surgery done on my hip, and fast forward to October, first week in October, I can start playing again. I can start practicing again. So jump back out on the ice, Cranbrook, for fall league, and then I had the coach of Victory Honda text me about my first week back, asking if I would like to join them for the remainder of the year, and I went out and skated with them. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I liked the fit. So that's where I'm at now. I've been skating with them for about 3, 4 weeks. I've been playing with them. I just started playing games about a week or two ago. And yeah, sort of where I'm at now.
Yeah. So how has that process been going and all that stuff? It's like getting used to going from high school to AAA because obviously it's two different worlds.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a lot between. I wouldn't say it's so much between high school and AAA, more so than I hadn't skated in around 7 months. I had one weekend where I went to a camp, but other than that, I really hadn't skated since the state championship game or the week after with the Team Michigan tryouts. That was the last time I had really skated up until October, and there was definitely a curve learning curve to get back skating, whether it was with high school or with AAA, with the guys and getting back up to speed and the shots. And, you're going to I'm a goalie. So, I mean, I got lit up for the first, week or two. And it was, somewhat frustrating, but I just had to, just have to, sort of had to keep working, keep skating. And, I'm feeling better now and feels good. As far as the gap, though, from high school to AAA goes, it's just a speed. For me, is just what I noticed, just getting back up to speed, making sure that I'm more aware and my edges are better, and making sure that I can keep up with the pace. That's sort of just the biggest difference that I've noted. I've still, I'm back, and I played first full game last weekend, but still getting back, still getting confidence back, still getting my edges back. I wouldn't say I'm quite there yet, but we're getting there.
How long do you think it may coming back from not playing for a long time? What was it like to just get back out there and just get used to playing again?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to get back out on the ice. It was awesome, awesome feeling to get back out, get back skating. Um, it wasn't for me. It was a lot of you can still skate, you can still push, you can still do that stuff. That felt fairly similar. It was about really with shots, like anytime a guy would pull it in or change the angle, or subtle adjustments, little adjustments that you sort of freeze up, after not playing in a long time. Whereas, you got to make a slight push there, a little push there, and your awareness overall too is a little bit off. You're really puck focused. You're not quite focused on the rest of the play, and so you definitely have to regain your awareness, and regain just the fine details that separate you you know from other from anyone else.
Yeah. So So coming into this year, I know it's a long season and stuff like that. You pretty much, playing games every single weekend and all that stuff. And plus, during the week, it's you practice here, you have strength conditioning and all that fun stuff. And outside of that, you also have to try to manage being a student and also trying to be an everyday kid. Um, what's that like for you to just balance all that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot between the two. I find that, we only skate 2 days a week, and we have, sometimes 3 days a week of practice, and then you have, workouts afterwards. But without with having your weekends gone, I find that I get, my workload, my schoolwork, and all that is definitely feels heavier now. I feel like I have less time to accomplish all that, which is somewhat of a tough balance. But for me, it just comes down to, the days that you're not skating. On Mondays, typically that's going to be a Monday, Wednesday, sometimes a Friday we're not skating. It's just, you spend that night doing homework, and then, you do some recovery. And then, when it comes to, your Friday night, you're doing homework. And then I go to my gym after, and I do some recovery. I jump in the sauna. It's just really try to stay focused and stay driven. Because, as far as, you have to, as far as this goes, I sort of, have my goals and my aspirations, and you just got to stay determined to that. So it's just really, really focused just between school, and whether you're not doing school, you're recovering some way. If you're not recovering, you're sleeping, which is, another form of recovery. And if you're not doing that, then you're in school. So just really trying to stay focused and stay driven on your goal.
Yeah. So, what are your goals for this season?
Yes, I mean, my goals for the season would just be to go out, sort of just give it my all, do the best I can, work as hard as I can to leave nothing out on the ice, no what ifs. And I mean, the goal obviously would be to move on to juniors next year to get an opportunity to do that. But um, we'll see what happens. We'll see sort of where I end up. But as long as I just give it my all, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. It's also like, going in just trying to maybe change the mentality a little bit, like, going from where you're just playing on weekends and not getting on the ice every day compared to what you did midway through last year. It what is that like just to, I know I kind of asked you this, but do you ever get overwhelmed with all that stuff, or is it just is it taxing to you, or is it or have you just found like a really good balance with all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely taxing. It's definitely takes its toll on you. When you're out playing games every weekend, 1, 2 games a day, sometimes it takes a majority of your day. It takes a chunk, and you got to find, um, whether or not you're gonna, stretch and recover, prep for your next game, or whether, you want to do homework. And that's sort of a situation that I didn't really have to worry about being put in with high school. It was definitely it's definitely nicer, on your weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, you have both days to catch up on sleep, to catch up on work, to recover. And I mean, it's also the intensity itself is much greater in AAA and travel than it was in high school, which is, partially, partially why it's taking, it takes more effort and everything. Um, But yeah, in terms of just like the difference, it does get overwhelming at times. It can, but you know, you just gotta find a way to manage it and to get it done. Whether that means, some nights I only get 1, 2 hours of sleep. Some nights last year I didn't sleep, If you got a test the next day and you had a game, it's like it's too bad, you gotta get the work done, and you gotta take that next day and make sure that you're doing everything right and that you're putting yourself in the best, possible spot to perform well. And sometimes you got to sacrifice whether or not you want to. You have a big game the next day. You have a math test the next day. What do you do? You got to prep days in advance to make sure that you're ready for both.
Yeah.
So, or you end up sacrificing one or the other.
What is your ultimate goal at the end of the day? Like
At the end of the day, in terms of,
where do you
I'm
want to
sorry,
go? Where do you want to
where
go?
do I want with hockey or with
Yeah.
with school with hockey? with hockey, my goal would be when it's all said and done, would be to end up at a college somewhere. That would be great. You know, that would be where for me, I would really enjoy. I'd really love to end up somewhere in like an Ivy League school or, challenging academic, really good, a good school. That would be where my goal is right now.
Okay. I know this is your senior year. This is your last time doing all the fun things and, in school. I know you, regardless of that, but have you kind of soaked in some of the last time I'm doing this, last time I'm doing that, all that with
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah, definitely. And it's bittersweet. Because, as much as, everybody wants to get to college, everybody wants to move on, you got to enjoy it. You got to stay present in the moment. You got to enjoy where you are. You got to enjoy, sitting in class with your friends, enjoy the bonds, enjoy the connections that you're going to share with these people because I mean, I know I talked to some of my friends in college, their best friends are people people states away now. And, they feel like it's tough to remake a friendship that you've had for years and years and years. And it's tough to sort of, you know, have that in college. And it's something that you should cherish that, you try and cherish now, but like homecoming or, Friday Night Lights, you really try and cherish those moments with each other. And it's definitely it's bittersweet.
Absolutely. So, in the next few months, what do you want to accomplish in your season?
I mean, my goal would just to be kind of like I said earlier, just to work. For me, I try and base it on my success on what I've done, and it's not really it's not so much did you win this, did you win that, did you win states? For me, as long as I know that each and every day I'm striving to be the best that I can, that I'm pushing myself to be the best that I can, that I'm studying to do the best that I can, working as hard as I can, that's my ultimate goal. And that's what I'll be satisfied with at the end of the day. Obviously, everybody wants to win states, obviously, everybody wants to win nationals, but as long as for me, as long as I'm doing, as long as I'm trying my best, as long as I'm working my hardest, at the end of the day, that's all I need to feel successful.
Absolutely.
Because if the success doesn't come here, it'll come elsewhere.
All right. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And how about this? We'll talk to you later in the year.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for having me out here, Casey. I really appreciate it.